Vic Villalobos loves dogs. So much so that his two businesses, Fetching Designs and Las Cruces Dock Diving, are either dog-oriented or themed. However, in recent months, Villalobos has experienced some challenges that have left him barking up a storm over property crime.
We've seen probably the biggest increase in crime over the last, 4 to 5 years is when it's really started growing, especially with all the vagrants and homelessness that we see around us. That's really when it first started, and we deal with it. It's probably more like a weekly basis between the two businesses.
Villalobos says his security cameras caught the moment when a man broke into multiple businesses, including his.
They broke in, they vandalized. I think they pooped in one of the places, and then we caught them here inside of ours.
Villalobos said the police then took the man into custody. This was far from the first time the man in the video has had run-ins with the law. Through a public records request, KRWG found that since May of 2023, he has been arrested 12 times on charges ranging from shoplifting and burglary to battery and assault on a peace officer. Villalobos says that much of this reoffending can be traced back to a 2016 amendment to the New Mexico Constitution.
I believe the bail reform started, I think, 2016, 2017, somewhere right in there. And, it just makes it where the judge is just making a decision. Heck, I don't even know if some of these people are actually even getting in front of a judge, because, the guy that broke into our offices, he had broken into other offices at 7 o'clock in the morning, and then broke into our place at 10:30 in the morning, so he'd already been released at that point.
In fact, that same man spent less than 24 hours in jail 6 different times, with his shortest stint being 37 minutes. Villalobos is not the only one raising concerns about bail reform. During a press conference on how to improve public safety since the killing of LCPD officer Jonah Hernandez, Police Chief Jeremy Story said that addressing bail reform was a priority.
The premise was people should not be held in jail for minor offenses for 6 months, 8 months because of an inability to pay a small bond. And I don't disagree with that notion. The problem is we went from keeping potentially too many people in jail to keeping almost nobody in jail.
Doñana County Sheriff Kim Stewart shares a similar view. She says that while the original intent of not holding average people in jail because they cannot pay bail was good, the state has strayed from that.
We ended up with a very strict matrix about what they can release on and what they can't release on, and what can hold bail and what can't hold, what shouldn't have bail, right? And a lot of it centers on danger to the public, imminent danger. And so now we're at this very strange scenario where if you've beaten your wife or your husband, you're not considered a danger to the public.
If you're holding people and they are presumed innocent, you're holding people that are presumed innocent in jail, you're already really calling them guilty.
Many supporters, like District Defender Chris Knutson, says that while bail reform may need some minor fixes, the overall system is a step in the right direction.
Before 2016, you would have people that were probably a danger to the community in some cases, but the judge would issue a $20,000, $50,000 bond, and some of those people would bond out. So we had people who might have been dangers to the community and they had a long criminal record, and they were released into the community. Now that isn't occurring.
A study done by the University of New Mexico in 2022 also showed that there was no statistically significant rise in reoffending after bail reform was introduced. Supporters of bail reform point to this as an example of how bail reform is being used as a scapegoat for bigger issues.
A lot of crime is because of homelessness and poverty, and I don't think the solution is to put all those people in jail. Most of those offenses are either criminal damage to property or trespassing, and I'm also concerned about that, but I don't think the solution is just to put everybody in jail who's homeless and is suffering from some sort of mental health issue.
Knutson also says that the old system of bail reform got rid of people's ability to be presumed innocent. But for people like Vic Villalobos, bail reform is the issue.
Let's lobby for ending bail reform and getting it back to criminals off the street.
One option New Mexico lawmakers took to strike a balance on bail reform comes in Senate Bill 271. The bill states that if a person is charged with a felony and then is released, and then gets charged with a new felony, they have to be held until they see all judges in their cases. The governor signed the bill on March 4th. For KRWG Public Media, I'm Noah Race.